Are you thinking about switching to reusable menstrual products? If so, that's awesome. Reusable menstrual products will save you a ton of money, and they're so much more comfortable, and they're good for the environment. Hi, I'm Crystal Van Duren. I'm a mother of 5, private flute teacher, and I love reusable products. Today our video is about all the different kinds of brands of pads that you can get. There are tons and tons on the market. What I did is I went through and I looked up different blogs, looked at my own experience, looked at different price points, and then purchased the ones that I was the most interested in showing you today. The way that I tested these is I laid them out on a paper towel in my kitchen, and then I used a Tylenol syringe to squirt water onto the face, and I measured how much in milliliters they were able to hold. To give you an idea, the normal person bleeds about 80 milliliters of fluid during their week-long period. So let's begin with Hypes. Hypes is made by Lil Helper, a Canadian brand. They specialize in products made for leaky humans, as they so put it. They have everything from cloth diapers to incontinence pads, bed mats, you name it, they've got it. They have amazing customer service. Their website is easy to navigate, and they're so willing to accommodate and just make life easier for you. They're a wonderful, wonderful company. They also provide discount programs for people who perhaps can't afford their own set. They have recycled polyester on the outside, athletic wicking jersey on the face, and the inside, the core, is made from bamboo terry. They also have a thermopolyurethane laminate to keep it fully waterproof. They're reinforced along the edges and have additional stitching on the face. They're very thin, perfectly discreet. I never felt like that it was showing. This particular pad is a wow pad, meaning without wings. These guys are fantastic. And I know what you're probably thinking is there's no way this is going to stay put in your underwear. These actually have grippy dots on the back to keep it in place. So long as you're wearing a more snug pair of underpants, these will stay put just fine. These are great for ladies who don't want to wear panties, but maybe wear boy shorts or something else that's more short-like. So you just lay it in there, and then make sure that it doesn't fold over on yourself when you go to pull it up. And then so long as your underclothing or even your jeans or whatever you're wearing is snug in the crotch, these will stay put just fine. This is their heavy flow version. They have additional sizes outside of this, a liner, regular flow, and then I believe something even heavier than this. They also have a line with wings. Their wing version comes without the grippy dots or with the grippy dots, just depending on what you order. The idea with their wing line is that it's waterproof so that your flow isn't going to flow into the wings. This is their liner, this is the regular, this is their heavy flow, and this one is their postpartum, so you can see the different sizes there. The liner holds 6.25 milliliters, and the regular flow holds about the same. Their heavy flow holds 17.5. The postpartum holds about 20 milliliters. The WOW can hold 70 milliliters. That's almost your entire week's worth of period. So you could wear this in theory for the entire week and not have to change it and not have to worry about leaks. For comfort, you'll want to change it. The wing pads probably would hold more, but they have one flaw. The absorbent portion flips over on the underside, and so it's in contact with your clothing, and that does cause leakage because as you bleed on the face, it kind of wicks into a circular shape, which then transfers to the back, and that will transfer to your non-waterproof clothing. If they were to fix the wing issue here, bring the waterproof layer closer in, kind of like this one, then these will be able to hold a lot more. If you were to lay this out and then do the absorbency test on it, it would hold 3 times the amount. But it failed at 6 milliliters because of the wicking into the wings issue. The wing wicking was not as much of a problem with your heavier flow pads simply because there's more absorbency on the inside. And so it has more time to soak in before it wicks to the back. And also you'll notice that it doesn't have the issue with exposing the edges as much. The thing that I really love about Hypes is that they're blue. So you can see how much you're bleeding and keep track on whether it's a heavy flow day or a light flow day, but it doesn't stain like your white ones do. They're also excellent at wicking the entire width of the pad. And so you don't have the buildup right in the center. The more full it gets in the middle, it starts to wick up and down the pad. These are a little on the expensive side, so that's the one downer, but I feel like they're built very sturdy And again, the company is just fabulous. So once the wicking issue is resolved, I would highly recommend Hypes for a discreet, thin, comfortable menstrual pad. I hope that they fix that. Australian brand Mimi & Co. has 3 sizes of pads. They've got their regular, their medium, and their postpartum or nighttime pad. These guys have the same issue with the athletic wicking jersey, meaning it feels a little sticky when it's wet. They're cotton on the outside though, and so that's supposed to help it stay in your underwear without sliding around, and they do a pretty good job there. They're constantly changing their design, so even these ones, again, are out of date. This one is an even older version, so you can see how the design keeps changing. So hop on their website, Mimi & Co., see what they've got out right now. The thing that I don't like about this design is once you snap it, there's nothing wide enough to really keep it in place, so this tended to slide in my underwear a little bit more than something shaped like this. The disadvantage to something shaped like this is when you snap it to the back, you've got the wicking issues with the absorbent layer touching your panties. All of Mimi & Co. products are made with the thermal polyurethane laminate to keep it waterproof. But with the cotton backings, I found that when you bleed on the athletic wicking jersey, it wicks it to the cotton, which then leaks onto the back into your clothing. Another thing that's funky about Mimi & Co. is this wide back that's not attached to your clothing at all. So when you're pulling up your pants, you need to be careful that the back doesn't get flopped over like that. So once you pull it up, then it stays pretty snug in your underclothing, and these things can hold a decent amount. The small held 10 milliliters before I would recommend that you would change it. That's just when it started feeling really wet. 15 milliliters before it started to wick into the wings and along the outside. Your medium size can hold 16.25 milliliters, and the large can hold 20 milliliters. So overall, Mimi & Co. holds a good amount. I found that the athletic wicking jersey tended to be a little hot and sticky to the touch, so it wasn't my preference, but it does its job all right, especially if you're more of a light glow kind of gal. But if you've got a copper IUD, then you'll want something a little more absorbent. Let's talk about Dame. Dame is a European brand. Their pad, I was a little disappointed in. I was super excited because it had so many great reviews. It's got a little strip of athletic wicking jersey on the inside, and that's to wick it up and soak it up into the inside. And then it's got the cotton wing. So I was hopeful that it had a waterproof layer in the wings that would prevent it from leaking into the underside. The first thing I noticed about Dame is that their snaps are crooked. So you see that? Completely misaligned. And so when you snap it, it torques the pad and it doesn't lie very flat in your underclothing. The biggest disappointment about Dame is I guess it doesn't have a waterproof layer at all because it leaked right through to the back. Personally, that's just no good. And it's not thin enough for me to want to use just as a panty liner. Dame held about 10 milliliters before it started going into the wings a little bit. But again, the issue is it just seeps right through into the back. SoCo Studio is a brand based in Texas. It's a small company. They have all sorts of options. So if you just want a personalized pad just for you, these guys are your go-to. Their customer service wasn't really great, honestly. They wouldn't respond to my emails and they wouldn't make accommodations. So when I placed my order and I wanted to add another pad, they told me I had to pay shipping again to ship in a separate box. So not great customer service, and that's kind of a trend you'll see in their reviews. Their product seems okay, but customer service, it's important. This one is their small size, and as you can tell, it's huge compared to some other small sizes out there on the market. The thing that they tout is their Zorb. So if you've never heard of Zorb, it's a multi-fiber fabric comprised of hemp, cotton, I think some polyester. It's a blend of fibers, and it's supposed to be super, super absorbent. One of the reviews I read on their website is that it feels squishy. I didn't really notice squishiness. I actually enjoyed wearing this. It is a little bit bulky, but this one is a double Zorb. So if you get a single Zorb, it'll probably be thinner than this. The biggest beef I have with this is that the face continues into the wings on the back. So when you snap it on the back, there's nothing to stop your flow from wicking into the back. This one has a polyester stay dry face, Again, it was very comfortable to use, but for heavier flow, it would always leak into the wings. The cutest prints, and they're always coming out with new prints. I don't like that I can never go back and reorder the same print. They're changing things so often, and they don't really stock what they make. It's weird. Their website's weird. The whole company's weird. Rael is an extremely popular brand of pad. They also make period underwear. I've never tried their period underwear, so I can't speak for how effective it is. Honestly, I was a little disappointed when this came because there's nothing fancy to it. It's just a simple sandwich of cloth with a button and a tag. The inside is made out of microfiber. The outside is polyester. I lied. The outside is a cotton spandex. So it's actually kind of stretchy. I'm not sure if that's a good thing for a pad or not, but it is what it is. It's black. I don't like black because I can't see how much I'm bleeding, but it's nice because it doesn't stain. In real life practicality, I actually really enjoyed using this. I was surprised because I expected my flow to wick into the wings, but surprisingly it stayed put on the inside. I never had an issue with it wicking over into the wings. So this is the first pad that I've ever discovered that doesn't have issues with wing wicking. It held 7.5 milliliters before the underside was damp, and it had 10 milliliters before it wicked into the wings. And this thing did bring out a lot because it's microfiber, so this will be more susceptible to your compression leaks. You want to change it a little bit more frequently. But on the whole, for something so basic, I was surprised at how well it performed. This also stayed put in my underwear really nicely. It's just cloth on cloth. It didn't really slide around. I think that has more to do with the rounded shape of the wings. So once you snap it, you can't see it very well because it's black. Oh, there you go. Once you snap it, it holds in place. The top rated brand for organic cotton pads is Rael, and I don't know why. I was not impressed by Rael. When it first came in the mail and I opened it up, I liked the design because it's got the absorbent wing that lies in your underwear to catch anything that may wick off to the sides, and the snaps are completely separate from the wings, so you don't have that problem with other pads where the absorbent portion is being snapped underneath your underwear to then bleed into your pants. Unfortunately, it didn't really work. It completely failed my kitchen test. The water just wicked off, it beat it up, it never soaked in. Once I kind of coaxed it to soak in. Nope, I don't even have a measurement as to how much it could hold because it didn't hold anything. I'm not sure what the waterproof backing is on here, but it does have a different back and it is waterproof. Nothing's soaked through, but maybe it would soak through because I couldn't even get it to soak in. The size was a little awkward too. This thing is just too thick to be a liner, and it's too short to be a proper pad. So if you are a heavier flow gal, you want something longer than this. This just wasn't my favorite. I don't enjoy wearing it. It's not comfortable. It does have cotton face. So if you like cotton and you just want cotton, here's something cotton for you. Natissy is another pickup from Amazon that's made out of cotton. Lots of people like it. When I was on my postpartum bleed, I couldn't see why because it just doesn't hold anything. I didn't trust these. They didn't hold very much on the kitchen test either. As far as absorbency goes, the Natissy liner held 10 milliliters and then it mostly wicked into the wings. So it wicks over the stitching and then into the wings where it leaks. And then the regular size held 7.5 before it started to wick over and then ultimately held 10 milliliters. Here you can see the little liner and then the regular flow. The thing about Natissy is it is cotton, so it's going to take many, many washes to reach its full absorbency. Before that, all of your fluid is just going to bead up and roll off. So make sure that you pre-wash these before you use them. What I like about them is that they've got these wings that are not part of the face of the pad, so you don't have the wicking issues into the wing. The wing snaps itself underneath. It fits very nicely in your underwear. They have the wing version. They also have these with a peel and stick, so it comes with these stickers that you just take off, stick onto the back, and then it's sticky and it sticks to your underwear. I thought that maybe this would bunch and fold like that, but it actually stayed put really nicely and this sticky worked effectively. And they're pretty thin, very discreet. I don't recommend them for a full menstrual cycle, but as far as using them as a comfy liner, these are some of the most comfortable things. Those days when you're just spotting a little bit, or maybe you got an IUD and you're having that eternal light bleeding that never goes away, these are perfect for that. They feel like just another pair of panties. You don't even notice they're there. They're comfortable. You can wear them all day. They don't shift. These have grippies on the back to keep them in place. And again, I really love how the wings are separate from the pad. So in theory, it won't bleed off the edge into your wings. Now, when I was doing the water test, it does wick off and onto the back, but I was squirting a lot of water on these. A normal flow is not that intense. So if you're a heavy flow person, maybe you have a copper IUD, this is not your option. But if you are a light flow gal, these are so nice and very comfortable, super discreet. You'll barely notice you're wearing them. Hannah Pad, or brand Hannah, is kind of the elite of the menstrual pad line. They're made in Canada. They're super, super cute patterns on the back. They have those grippies to help it stay in place in your panties. The face is organic cotton, and the inside is also organic cotton. So this is just an organic cotton pad with the polyester back and the thermal polyurethane laminate for the waterproofing. It stays in your pants great. When you snap it to the back, it's got that issue where the absorbent cotton is against your panties. Surprisingly, I didn't notice an issue with any wicking into the wings. It just doesn't wick. Now, cotton holds on to moisture like a champ. It feels wet when it's really full, but I actually loved wearing this. It was so comfortable. My beef with Hannah Pad is they're just so darn expensive. Ew. It doesn't really save you a ton of money. Maybe it does save you money. I haven't figured out how long these last. They've got the reinforced edges there. I'll show you on the back. So it's a very sturdily made pad. So comfortable to wear. Again, it just feels like your underwear. And I didn't notice any wicking into the wings. Maybe on a heavy flow day, you'll want to steer clear of this and be a little more careful. It's hang dry only. So it takes so long to dry. I would use this and wash it and then hang it up by my fire because I loved it so much I wanted to use it again. You'll have to buy more of these if you're a heavy flow type of gal, which then increases the price point. Brand Hannah held 22.5 milliliters before it started breaching the edge of the pad, which would be a concern for leaking. And then it held 25 milliliters before it fully wicked into the wings. So this guy's a champ. It is a little bit more bulky, so you probably wouldn't want to wear this to the gym with your thin leggings. The first brand of reusable pads that I ever tried was Wegreeco, and I just got these off of Amazon. They are really thick, really bulky, but these are actually my favorite of all the pads. Surprise, surprise. They're also the cheapest. Extra bonus. They have bamboo charcoal on the face, polyester on the back with a polyurethane laminate for your waterproofing, and the inside is just microfiber. So the reason why I said bamboo charcoal is because they say it's bamboo charcoal. It's probably just a black microfiber polyester type of fabric. Either way, these guys are really comfortable to wear. I love it. I don't feel wet at all when I wear these. I could wear them all day and all night, but I tend to feel a little just gushy. Not that it's hot or sticky or anything. It's just when I sit down, it tends to squish when it's really full. My favorite thing about these is that the waterproofing layer goes into the wings. And so if you have a heavy flow, you can wear their smallest size. And if it fills completely up on the charcoal, then it then bleeds into the wing. But it's like a Ziploc bag in here. Kind of a gross imagery, but it doesn't leak. And that's the thing that I like best about these. So if you have a copper IUD or if you're a heavy flow person, these are going to save you. The thing that's weird about Wegreeco, and probably this is because they're a less expensive brand, their waterproofing tends to deteriorate over not very much time. They never leak, but they started to sweat after a year of use. So my underwear and even my pants on a really heavy flow day would feel damp to the touch. Now, the blood never leaked through, so it's kind of odd that all that moisture leaked through. But that's why I started looking for different brands, because I wasn't happy with how much I was feeling wet on the underside. But again, it's not a leak, it's just a sweating, seeping issue. It was really weird. Maybe if I never put these in the dryer and line dried them like the instructions recommended, I wouldn't have that problem. But who's got time to line dry their pads? Honestly, I throw these in the wash with my cloth diapers, so I use and abuse them, and they still work great. This is their smallest size. This is their medium size. This is their nighttime. And this nighttime baby is the thing that I wear to bed because I trust it. I never, ever, ever have a leak with this. The small held 20 milliliters before I was able to get a compression leak, but if I wasn't testing for compression, they can hold up to 30 milliliters. The medium holds 30 milliliters before you start getting compression leaks, and it can hold up to 32.5 milliliters. 40 milliliters with a major compression leak, but nothing was rolling off or wicking to the underside. The large can hold 35 milliliters before you start getting some compression leaks. So a large one of these can hold half your week's worth of your period. It's pretty awesome. I did notice during my postpartum bleed that the bamboo charcoal tended to make me a little bit itchy. I'm not sure why, but I didn't have any rash, no rashing, no cramping or anything, just weird itching. So as far as bang for your buck goes, Wegreeco, oh yeah, totally get yourself a set of these. They're so cheap. It's the way to go. This is a pair of period underwear by Saalt, the same guys that make the menstrual cup. Don't use period underwear for absorbency, guys. They don't work. I don't even have an absorbency rating for these because I couldn't get it to hold anything. The thing that I did like about these is they make an awesome pair of panties to then snap your pads to. They're stretchy, they're comfy, they're actually really firm. Is that a way to say it? They stayed on my behind really, really well, and so they held the pads in place nicely. So that's what I would recommend that for. Don't use it without a liner or a pad. It just doesn't work. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any additional questions about menstrual pads, maybe different brands or different features, how to take care of them, feel free to drop a question in the chat. I'm also curious to know what brands you've tried. If you have, let's share our knowledge with each other so we all could make the best educated decision, because it's not a disposable. It's not something that you can just use and throw away. It's more of an investment. It's worth it. These are so comfortable, guys. Just do it. Just try it. It's like being able to have your period in your own underwear. It's so nice, and they're really easy to clean.